They called me a conman, a murderer, a devil in human form. But I was simply a man with an extraordinary gift for persuasion and a penchant for opportunity. I was born Herman Webster Mudgett, in New Hampshire in 1861. From the beginning, I knew I was different. There was a curiosity in me, an insatiable hunger to peer behind the curtain of life itself. That curiosity drove me to study medicine, and it was there, among the cadavers in medical school, that I first discovered the power of death. Death, I learned, was not an end, it was a tool. When I arrived in Chicago in the late 1880s, I was no longer Mudgett, I had become Dr. Henry Howard Holmes, a respectable businessman and man of science. I bought a pharmacy, charming its elderly owners into early retirement. Then I set my sights on something grander, a castle. But not a castle for royalty, a castle for secrets. The Murder Castle, they would later call it. 3 stories of twisting hallways, hidden rooms, soundproof chambers, and gas jets hidden behind walls. To the world, it was a hotel for travelers and a space for my growing business ventures. To me, it was a stage for my experiments, my games. In 1895, they arrested me, though they could not comprehend the scale of my crimes. They found the castle, its labyrinthine horrors, but not the countless souls who had vanished within its walls. They tried me for one murder, then another, and another. I confessed to 27, though the true number may never be known. The end. In 1896, they hanged me, though I did not flinch. I left this world as I had lived in it, calm, collected, and in control. They buried me in concrete, afraid even my corpse might play one last trick. I was H. Holmes, the master of the Murder Castle. And in my hands, life and death were merely threads to be woven into the fabric of my design. I was a puppeteer, and they were my marionettes. The guests. They came to my castle in droves, lured by the World's Fair of 1893. Young women seeking work, families looking for lodging, businessmen eager to make deals. I greeted them all with a warm smile and promises of comfort. Some stayed only a night, others longer, but none left. One by one, I led them to my chambers, a windowless room with walls that slowly closed in, a soundproof vault where their screams died before reaching the air. Some succumbed to gas, their faces frozen in panic as the fumes engulfed them. Others fell to more creative devices, trapdoors leading to the basement, where vats of acid awaited the disposal. The basement was my sanctuary, my workshop. I stripped flesh from bone with surgical precision, reducing my guests to skeletons I could sell to medical schools. Their belongings were catalogued and sold. Every trace of their existence became currency in my pockets. The downfall. For years, I thrived, but greed is a beast that cannot be sated. Insurance fraud became my secondary trade, and it was this, not my murders, that ultimately undid me. A disgruntled associate tipped off the authorities, and they began to unravel my web of deceit.